Eamon O'Carroll, Lee Gaskell left the field inside 3 minutes against Doncaster. What's the latest with his hamstring injury now you've had time to assess it this week?
Yeah, the positive to that is it's not as bad as last time, so that's really good. We're hopeful he'll be a couple of weeks. So, he's well into his rehab now, so we'll just see how he responds. We won't rush him back, but it's a huge loss for us. After
the injury in the Wakefield game, he missed 10 games. From what you've just said there, is it looking a lot less serious than that?
Yeah, it is. But obviously, with it being a reoccurrence, we'll just have to make sure that we do the right thing. We want Gasky back at his best, and we want him for the rest of the year when he comes back. So we'll, he was feeling good. He got through a couple of games there, and he was playing really well too. So hopefully, we'll get him back to that point.
Clearly, this is another setback for you and the side. How do you plan to deal with it?
Yeah, well, we're unlucky in terms of we don't have the biggest squad at the moment, but we're lucky we've still got some really good personnel and key personnel within the group. So we'll have enough cover to fix that, which is really good, and we've got some good repetition in practice this week as well.
A lot of people are probably thinking, well, the logical thing is Aidan McGowan, who's missed the last two, goes to full-back, and Tom Holmes partners Jordan Lilly.
Yeah, potentially. There's a few options there, isn't there? I think JD's done a really good job for us when he's had to go in there and played a big part for us at the beginning of the year as well. So, I think Tyron Ott went and did a great job for us. So we've had a good look at it, and we'll be ready to go.
I know this is a question that I've asked you a number of times this year, but you're looking to build continuity, cohesion in the halves, and then just when you think you've got your star spine of Holmes, Lily Gaskell, up comes more disruption.
Yeah, but it's the nature of the beast, and I'm sure every other club is going through that, and will do at some point. It's magnified here at the moment because we're all here, so we recognise it. But it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd love to have them together. Certainly, your spine, that's really important. But whoever's stepped in is doing a great job for us at the minute. So I'm really confident in the capability of the group and what we can do moving forward.
And the fact that you have players able to step in and adapt and go into those positions is obviously a real good blessing.
Yeah, it is. So it could be a lot worse, couldn't it? So we're not kicking stones. We're obviously frustrated to lose Gasky. But as I said, it's rugby and it happens. So the best teams deal with it the best they can, and touch wood, up to now we've done that.
What's the latest with Chester Butler?
So Chester had a little bit of an issue with his hamstring. We were monitoring that, but he's been off ill this week, so we've not had much contact with him. That could be a positive for him to give it that little bit of extra rest. So I'm hopeful he'll be in training tonight, and we can have a look at him, and the medical team will put a plan in place for him.
Fair to say he won't be featuring this weekend?
Yeah, highly unlikely.
What's the latest with Dan Smith and Michael Lawrence?
Yeah, Bruno is going really well. He's still going to be out for a number of weeks, but he's heading in the right direction, which is really positive. I think he's due to have another scan next week just to see how the injury's going and if it's recovering. So there's some things in place there for Bruno, but he's looking good. He's adding value to the group even though he's not playing, which is really good. And unfortunately for Dan, he's going to be out for a period now, but there's a good plan in place for him, and we'll look to get him back end of the season.
When you look at obviously injuries to players like Dan Smith and Michael Lawrence, there has had to be a step up from some of the other players in the squad. I mean, we spoke on Sunday after the game about Eben Sker and Jordan Baldwinson, but watching the game back and you look at the meters made by George Tafura and Jayden Okinmore as well.
Yeah, like I said, everyone's playing their part, which is really good. I think young Elliot came in and did a fantastic job for us. People like Eben Sker and Baldy are just getting better and better each week. So, it's really pleasing to see. I spoke about when I first came here, we're going to need a squad, to play their part throughout the season, and, we're certainly doing that at the moment.
You've done your review on the Doncaster game. First half, very convincing. Good lead. Second half, we've mentioned a little bit that it felt a little bit flat at times. When you've done your review on that second half, Eamon, what can the side learn from that?
Well, I think it's just staying in the game for 80 minutes and more individual concentration sort of thing. I mention it a lot. We were really not lucky. We earned the right to get the start that we had, but Doncaster are a good team and they were going to have their say in that game. I thought although the game became scrappy, we handled those periods of pressure a lot better than what we had done in recent games. So that for me is a huge positive. There were certainly things that we could have done better. We made far too many errors. I think it was 12 in total, which is too much, which we addressed. It's been a big theme for us during training this week. But I think our discipline was better as well, and I think that was because of the reason we got our intent right from the start. So again, I see us getting better and better each week. Certainly things that we want to be better at, but we're heading in the right direction.
And when you look back at obviously disappointing performances against Batley and Widnes and York, it's clear to me and probably to yourself the side is learning those lessons.
Yeah, I hope so, but I think we'll only truly know that if we continue to move forward in terms of our performance and our concentration levels. So yeah, we're heading in the right direction, but I won't sit here and say we've nailed it yet. You only do that when you've done it consistently over a period of time.
And 5 from 6 now, building momentum ahead of what is going to be a very testing July with Toulouse, then Wakefield, then York, then Widnes.
Yeah, we've got a tough old block coming up, but we say it a lot. I don't think there's any easy games in this competition, so we're making the right strides moving forward. We're going to be going into the next month hopefully with an element of consistency, and hopefully that's the case with team selection as well.
What's the latest with Max Lehmann and Franklin Pelly? Are they good to go? Visas sorted?
Yeah, everything's good to go with them, so that's a real positive for us. We seem to lose a couple, but we're in a really lucky position to be able to bring some people in too. So hopefully we won't lose too many more. Moving forward, and the additions to the squad will be even a bigger bonus for us.
And fair to say they're both in contention to make their Bradford debuts on Sunday. Yeah. Just on Franklin Pelly, what does he bring to the team?
Size. Yeah, big boy. Great fella. Really, really well liked within the group already. Certainly added some value. So I see it going very similar way it did with Jaden Ockenbo with him. He's bringing that element of confidence to the group as well. So he's settled in really well.
You're obviously inheriting a player that's got a bit of damage. Obviously, what's happened at Hull FC, the fact that you've turned Jaden Ockenbo around and he's now scoring and really enjoying his rugby league. Is that what you'd like to do to Franklin?
Yeah, but it's not me. It's them that Jaden got his reward for playing well and fully integrating himself into the club and into the group, and played with a smile on his face. So that's down to the players. We try to accommodate that the best we possibly can. And I'm confident that we can do that with the group that we've got. So we just want to give him the opportunity to get back to his best. We know the capability of him. And you can see the positivity around the group when we said we were bringing him in. A couple of our boys have played with him and played against him before, so they know his capabilities. So it's down to us all now to help accommodate that and get the best out of him.
Obviously, the news has come out this week that Arid Doro is going to be joining Hull Kingston Rovers next year. How frustrating is it to lose, a player of Aribi's sort of character and stature? You yourself, Eamon, have said, in your opinion, is the Championship's best forward.
Yeah, it is. It's frustrating, but then there's that bit where I'm proud of him as well. He's worked extremely hard, and there's one thing we can't give our players at the moment, and it's Super League opportunity. And I try and look at it as more as a positive. We've got the right people through the door who want to go and do that, and hopefully that's with us one day. Well, if it's not, they're playing the best for us and getting an opportunity. So as his coach, I'm really happy for him, and I'm proud of him for getting this opportunity, and I'm sure he'll go on and kill it. And
I'm kind of guessing the mission statement, the challenge for the Bradford Bulls and yourself is for the club to be in a position where you can keep players like Arid Doro, and you can hopefully in seasons to come offer them that Super League opportunity.
Yeah, hopefully, and it's going to take some time to get to there, and we know that. Everyone's in alignment. We know where we want to get to, and what it's going to take to get there. But it's a journey. It's going to be a slow road. It'll have its peaks. It'll have its troughs. But I'm confident we've got the right people through the door. Aribi goes with my blessing. He really does. I'm really happy for him, and we've had a couple throughout the time, even before I was here, and some already this year in terms of Danakora that will go, but. They're playing well for our club and they deserve an opportunity. So hopefully we'll be in a position in the next few seasons to be able to keep players like that.
It's Dewsbury Rams on Sunday, just one win in 2024. Obviously you're going to take nothing for granted, Eamon. They're very dangerous opponents.
Yeah, they are. And we'll have to learn some lessons from our previous games where we've kind of got it wrong, but we've put it behind us, but not that far behind us, because we want it still to be a lesson. So look, we've really looked at the last month just in terms of what we're doing, what's working for us, and you know, trying to master that. And we're confident if we do that, we give ourselves the best chance regardless of the opposition as well. So we're going to have to turn up with the right attitude. I've seen that over the last month that we're doing that. You know, and we're doing that in practice as well. I think our preparation's been really good over the last probably month or so. A lot more consistent in what we're doing, and the players are seeing value in what they're doing and the reward in what it's getting us. So nothing changes in respect to Sunday. We'll turn up and we'll be professional. We've got a good plan in place.
And the dreaded C word, complacency, hopefully guarding against that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see if we can do that. I think that's a huge step again for us as a group to see if we can go and do that. You know, they're a dangerous opposition. You know, I don't look into where they're at. I've watched their last couple of games. We had periods where we really struggled against Whitehaven, and Dewsbury went and, you know, challenged them throughout that game. Probably just fell off a little bit in the second half. So they're competing hard and they're desperate, which makes them dangerous.
And obviously, the message to the side last week, Eamon, was to be patient, you know, break Doncaster down. What's the message ahead of this game against Dewsbury?
Yeah, I actually spoke to the group on Monday and just said, you know, that a lot of my messages are going to be repetitive. We've seen it's working for us, but we've not quite mastered it yet. So not to get bored with it. I think that's a challenge for us now. Not to get bored with what we're doing and try and clean up a few little areas in terms of our skill and individual concentration. So, you know, I'm confident in if we do that, we'll put ourselves in a good position regardless of our position that we're playing.
And this is a game that will signal the halfway point of the season. Bradford get the win, they'll be in the top four, and obviously in terms of Bradford's goal, that was the aim, to have a top four finish.
Yeah. So, you know, it's in our hands, isn't it? We just got to concentrate on what we're doing and the games we're playing in, not focus too much about what's happening around us. We've just got to keep performing and winning games, and the rest will look after itself.